Yeah, so kicking things off, obviously you started off at Coventry, making your debut at the age of 18. How was that coming through the ranks at a pretty young age, especially for a keeper as well at 18?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't actually start in goal till I was 13 and a half. I was an outfield player. I was never any much good, but I used to love all sports. The goalkeeper got injured, and because I was on the bench as an outfielder and the only one, I had to go in goal. And it sort of took off from there. So it happened pretty quick. So from there, signed for Coventry schoolboy forms. There was another keeper that signed on the same day. Obviously, you always sign two. And he was meant to be the next big thing. His name was Steve Watson from Newcastle. But he struggled to adapt. Obviously, he was homesick as well, really struggled to adapt down in Coventry. And I quickly overtook him and, started training with the first team from probably 17. And then it was in and around the first team pretty much all the time. And, made my debut against Tranmere in the Worthington Cup and then against Spurs at the weekend at Highfield Road where we won 2-1. It's looking back now, I mean, what's that, nearly 23 years ago, 22 years ago. Yeah, it's gone quick.
And at Coventry, then obviously you had Magnus Hedman, and was Steve Igricevic, was he there as in playing terms? Was he coached by then?
Oggy was. So when I first went to Coventry, he trained me as a 15-year-old on Wednesday nights. We used to go over, and then he was the first team keeper when I was in the youth team. Yeah, so seeing the way he worked, the way he trained, he was the hardest worker, but he just did everything spot on, and that for me, seeing that at an early age that's the way you've got to be a footballer. So I tried to, copy everything Oggy did, and, still close friends today. And, lucky that I had him and Jim Blythe, my goalie coach, and Gordon Strachan. But we had some great players there as well, some experienced players, Dion Dublin, Gary McAllister, Paul Williams, Richard Shaw. There's too many to mention, which helps, I think, all those youngsters seeing how professional they were. It gave us a great stepping stone to try and make it in the game.
Yeah, so obviously, as I mentioned at the start, coming in at 18 in any position's young, but especially a goalkeeper. I mean, as you said in the past, you developed quite late. I think I heard on the Under the Cosh podcast, you said you couldn't kick the ball out the box until you were about 16, 17. So.
That was still true when I was in the youth team at Coventry. I couldn't, probably 17, but but then my body grew and you get stronger and stuff like that. So. But I was quite a late developer. But then things once I signed for Coventry, things just developed really quick, and obviously wasn't there too long in the end before I moved.
And your first season, you properly when you were number one. It was a tough one, obviously, that culminated in relegation. Was it tough for you to get your head around that? Did you feel like you were at all responsible, or you let the fans down or anything? Because like you said, it was quite an experience.
Yeah, you do. I mean, it still hurts to this day now, and people probably say, "Oh, it can't," but it does. Because Coventry has never been the same since. They're getting back towards there now, but there was some, a lot of people lost their jobs. There was, a lot of us got sold, obviously, but no, it does. Being first year as well, being a young lad, it was a horrendous time. Some players don't care. Some players will move on and sign for another club, but coming through the youth team and getting relegated, especially at Villa as well, the local rivals, was really hard to take. And I was going to stay. I wanted to stay again, but it's obviously when Liverpool come in, the team I've always supported used to come up when I was 7 and stand in the Kop and watch them. It was, as hard as it was to leave Coventry, it was the only team. It was the only team that I would have left for.
Did you have any other offers at that stage in that summer when Liverpool came in, or?
There was talk, there was quite a few. Liverpool, the ones that put the money on the table, but I wouldn't have gone anywhere else. I'd have stayed. It was only supporting Liverpool, and because it's Liverpool, that I left Coventry. But I wouldn't have signed for anybody else.
And obviously, was it the same? It was around the same time, the same day that Dudek came in with you, wasn't it?
Knew what the situation was. So Gerard rang us and said, "Look, signing Jersey as well. I want you to come in, be number 2, watch Jersey, get used to training with the lads." Because I was fit, but until you go to another level, to a Liverpool like Coventry, we thought, with great players, but you go to Liverpool, it's a different level. And, it takes you time to get up to speed. But he was honest. He said, "Look, when you're ready, you'll play." And he was true to his word. It's just whenever I did get in, I got some pretty bad knocks and some pretty serious knocks, which halted my progress.
And was there more pressure going to a side of Liverpool where the fans are expecting that you pretty much win every game compared to Coventry? Was there a pressure from that sense that when you did play every time you did draw at home or lose or whatever, it was like, oh, that's not good enough? Was there more of an expectation on you?
Yeah, you're aware of it, definitely. I mean, it's a massive club. The first time I realised how big it was when we went away on pre-season tour to the Thailand, Hong Kong, and places like that, and there was thousands just camping outside your hotels, and 50,000 come to watch you train. Yeah. So you realise just it's a big club, but it's a worldwide club. But no, not really. I didn't feel any pressure at all. When you're younger, you're just more bothered about training, playing. You're not, but you don't really think about every other thing. It wasn't until I got over 30 then you start to realise some of the games you're playing in. You start to realise that your body's slowing down. You're not as quick, or you're not as fit as you once was. But no, when I was younger, no problems at all. Just desperate to train and play games.
And was there, obviously, like you said, being a Liverpool fan, was there a particular game, like a derby, for instance, or United or Champions League, where you just had to pinch yourself and thought, wow, I'm in goal for Liverpool in a massive game, like, how's this happened, sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, my first 4 games, we played against Grimsby, we lost that, but then it was Galatasaray in the Champions League, Everton in the league, and then Galatasaray in the second leg. So yeah, I mean, the derby's always a special game, but it's vicious as well. There's there's a lot of fan rivalry, obviously. So if you lose them games, you can't really be seen out in town for a few weeks, or so it gets to that point, which is it's not right for me, but it is what it is. But yeah, the Galatasaray game away, probably in the old Galatasaray Stadium, the old Allianz Stadium.
Yeah,
that was hostile. It was frightening. It was just brilliant, though. Everything about it. I mean, we got locked in after the game because because we got a draw. They were not happy, so they bombarded us in. But it was all great. And when you're a kid, you buzz off all that sort of stuff. Thinking about it now, it's quite terrifying, actually, what happened. But,
yeah, that is. Yeah, they had that famous welcome to hell, didn't they? When United played.
Oh yeah. The atmosphere was just incredible. They were in the stadium like 5 hours before the game. The fans they're just they're fanatical out there. But that was probably the first game I thought, wow, yeah, I'm playing for Liverpool.
And you had a pretty good, obviously, the year that Liverpool ended up winning it. You played 4 games, was it, in the Champions League that year? So you had a decent run in the side through that campaign.
Yeah, I played against Olympiacos, the one at Anfield, obviously the famous game there. So yeah, just another incredible occasion to be part of. But then got injured in my back, so I needed a back operation and missed the rest of the season, which was gutted. But then I was obviously a Liverpool fan then, so I was supporting the team as a fan and as a player, but as a fan. So we was out in Istanbul, which again, one of the best games you'll ever likely to see. And the only time that had come near it is the Barcelona game at Anfield. Last was it a couple of years ago, which was just that was amazing as well.
Wait, obviously there's a famous story that you went on the bench that day, but Scott Carson offered you his medal. Is that? And you said no. Do you reckon he meant it, or he was doing it for? Been a bit gutted if he'd actually said yes, or? No.
We're good friends, me and Scott. He meant it, but it's just I just didn't. It wasn't right. You can play in all the games, but if you don't play in that final, that final is a one-off game, a unique game. You can't draw it or lose. You have to lose or win. So it's not the same as the other games. So I just didn't feel as though, even though I played a few games, just didn't feel as though I'd earned it. Even though, as I said, I played against Olympiacos. If you don't play in that final, I didn't really feel as though I deserved it.
Fair enough. I don't know if I'd feel the same, but I was very honest about you. Played in the Champions League and, like you said, a few away games in different parts of Europe. Did you ever get any temptations to play abroad yourself? And were there any offers that came up through your career, or?
I mean, the biggest. Well, I mean, I could have gone, but the heat. I'm not good with the heat, so playing abroad is obviously in Spain or so. I mean, we had a chance to go to Japan and China later on in my career, but no. I mean, it's a big upheaval. I wouldn't have gone on my own. We've lived up in Liverpool now for 20 years, but no, I think I like home comforts too much to move abroad.
Fair enough. So after Liverpool, was it a loan spell at West Brom, and then you settled in at Wigan? And would you say that was the best part of your career, really? Yeah.
So when I left Liverpool, went to West Brom, played the first 10 games. Everything was great again, and then I got a bad injury on my kidney, which I was out for a long time with. I took a knock off Kevin Davis, and it basically tore my kidney. So I was out for a long time with that. But yeah, Liverpool, everything was good, and then obviously Rafa come in, brought a different Spanish coach, which was just not the way I wanted to train. It wasn't enough. You just come off the training pitch some days, not worked at all.
Is it just a change of your distribution and stuff like that, or?
It's just the work ethic. It was just, no repetition out the window. They wanted you to punch things, not catch things. So everything that I'd gone to get, everything that got me to Liverpool, the hard work, everything like that, was just completely opposite. So my form dropped, and I knew I needed to go. But I needed to go somewhere that had a British goalie coach. And, Wigan come up, Paul Gill rang me and said, look, come to Wigan, we know what you need. Got Gary Walsh here, goalie coach, and we know what you can do. And I went there, and as soon as I walked through the door, it just felt right. And yeah, for 4 years, it's the best I've played, 2006 to 2010. It's the best I've ever played during my career. The last 2 years, again, Roberto Martinez come in, different goalie coach again, Spanish goalie coach, and things went back to the way they were before. So yeah, I had to leave there after 6 years.
Do you reckon that is how football's going now, particularly in the Premier League, obviously since Pep came in and sort of got rid of Joe Hart straight away, and there's a different sort of outlook on how goalkeepers should be? Is the old-fashioned English goalkeeper almost dying out in the top flight?
It all depends on the manager. It just all depends what the manager wants, who it is, what he wants, and what's available as well. It was ruthless what happened with Joe at City after winning the league, but then he's brought Edison in, and Edison's been superb as well. So I mean, that's football. Once your time's up, once your sell-by date's gone, very rarely you see players stay at a club. There's only Stevie and Carra and a few of the United lads that have stayed, John Terry, that have stayed at a club the whole career, which is incredible. But yeah, you look at most players; they have a few clubs during their career because that's what it is. It's swap and change,
Yeah. So the summer you went to Wigan, that was the same summer that you made your England debut as well?
So I actually made my debut for England on the Wednesday before my debut for Wigan on the Saturday. Yeah.
Nice.
So Old Trafford.
You've dreamed of for a while, and you've been in a few squads, haven't you, before making your debut?
Yeah, it should have happened a long time before, but yeah, it was good to good to finally get it out of the way. I talk about for years, but yeah, and finally got it done. But I've always said, the pinnacle. People say, let's go with the pinnacle, and it wasn't for me. The pinnacle was playing for Liverpool and making my first start for Coventry, because actually bread and butter. Your club football's your bread and butter. That's what you do every day. I might be saying different if I'd played 50, 60 times for England, but yeah, no, the biggest thing for me was signing for Liverpool.
And obviously your dad and his friends were happy that day as well when the bet winnings came in, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I only found out 2 days before the game, so I had no idea.
All right.
Press got hold of it, and I had to ring my dad and say, look, is this true? And he went, yeah, it's true. He said, don't worry about it, they'll just concentrate on the game. And yeah, all the family were there, so which was a great occasion. And yeah, quite a few people got paid out, which was nice.
Happy days. Should have been better odds though, shouldn't it, really? 100 to 1.
Should have been miles better odds.
An unknown kid. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I said if I'd have gone in at the time with my dad, because he put it on after the first game I played in goal. So I'd never played it before, put it on after that. But I was a big lad back then as well. I was quite chubby. So I think if I'd have gone in with him to the bookies, the money was a bit more than 100 to 1 when they see me.
Yeah, just showing a bit here. Yeah. So back at Wigan, would you say Steve Bruce was your most enjoyable time in terms of best manager you worked with? Everything just clicked for you there?
Yeah, I mean, him and Gerard Houllier at Liverpool was special as well. Just proper people, proper understanding, cared about the players. Man management skills were just brilliant. The team talks, what both of them gave were just, had you listening on the edge of your seat to some of them. Particularly with Gerard before Champions League nights, and obviously Steve when we needed to get results at Wigan. Second season we was there, we were flying though. I mean, I think we finished 10th, but we were up in the European places for most of it, and then we lost a few players in the January because Wilson Palacios, Valencia, they went for big money. Lost Heskey, lost Ryan Taylor. But yeah, he's a special manager. He really is, and when I see him getting all the stick he gets, it's incredible because you ask.
He's done a good job everywhere, hasn't he? Really, done
a great job. You ask anyone that's played under him, or you ask a lot of people who would like to play for, and he would be high up on the list of any player.
That's good. So with obviously Houllier and Bruce being your sort of favourite managers, any players in the changing room that stood out as leaders or just great to play with?
Well, obviously not Stevie and Carroll. You don't stay clubs for the whole career unless you deserve to be there, unless you work extremely hard. So they set the standards every day. But MLS is another one. Been lucky to play with him. He got a lot of stick in the past, but he would be my first name on my team sheet. And he was, when we played together at Liverpool and Wigan, if I see him on the team sheet, I was happy. So but yeah, I'm lucky enough to play with some real special players. Javi Alonso was another one at Liverpool. He was an incredible player, great lad as well. But yeah, lucky enough to play with some great players.
And what about other goalkeepers? Anyone who you were in competition with and you were just like, fair enough, this guy's class, I'll happily be number 2 to him? Or did you always back yourself to be the number 1?
Jersey dude. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously I knew the plan when I went there with him, but yeah, after seeing him in training, I mean, the first 2 years he was just, wow, he was awesome. I was thinking, I'm never going to get in here. But then he made a mistake against United, and he was never the same after that, really. But yeah, probably Jersey was special.
And so then, at Wigan, did injuries start to creep in then, or was it a case of Martinez brought Ali Al Habsi in, and you were just looking elsewhere then?
Yeah, when I left Liverpool for the next 10 years of my career, I didn't miss the odd game here and there, but no, I didn't miss a lot. The last 2 years at Wigan was just out of favour. He preferred Ali Habsi. Again, the training, my form dipped because of the training. I was trying to get asked for more, and it was just totally different. So I knew that was going to come to an end, and eventually. Went to Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah. Did you have a few loan moves that, like, very brief? Was it in between?
Yeah, I didn't want to go really. Doncaster, Leicester, didn't really want to go, to be honest.
Yeah.
But just thought I'd go and get some games, but the travelling and stuff like that it was difficult. But yeah, then left there, but knew again I needed to go to somewhere that had a British goalie coach, and then went to Sheffield Wednesday with Andy Rhodes, which was brilliant.
Jordan Rhodes' dad.
Jordan Rhodes' dad, yeah. So he rang me and just said, "Look, we know what you need. We know what you like to, how you like to train. Come here." He says, "You'll be fine." And went there, played every game the first season, got player of the season, every game more or less the second season, and then the third season they brought Kieran Westwood in. But obviously off-field situations were getting a little bit too much, so it was a bit of a relief really not to be playing a third season.
And at Wednesday, you're going again to a very traditional historical club like Liverpool, decent fan base. Was it again played in a few derbies, I imagine, and a few?
No, I didn't play in a derby. Actually, I didn't play against Sheffield United. We were due to play if we got through a cup game, because obviously they were in the Premier League. But if they got through, if we got through this round of the cup against Charlton, we were due to play Sheffield United, but we lost to Charlton in the cup. So no, I never got to play in that. But yeah, magnificent club, magnificent fans. History of Hillsborough, obviously the close connection and with what happened at Liverpool. But yeah, just a great club of staff and everyone, and just loved everything, everything about the football side of things and all the staff. Just obviously off the pitch was a little bit difficult at the time, but yeah, it's great. I'm sure they'll get out of trouble this year as well. Tomo was there and Bully when I was there, but yeah, they're far too good to go down for as far as I'm concerned.
They're doing all right since Thompson's been in charge.
Yeah, I mean, to get the fans back though. Yeah. We see the teams. I mean, Sheffield United, the biggest example of having no fans. Last year, they got full house at Bramall Lane, stayed up comfortably. Yeah. This year, no fans. It makes a huge difference. So yeah, Sheffield Wednesday, they'll stay up this year, and then next year, hopefully, the fans will be back in and they can really kick on.
And there was that occasion at Wednesday against Leeds where a fan happened to get on the pitch. What are your memories of that? It's a bit mad.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see him till the last second, but yeah, I didn't really know what had happened, and yeah, he got sent down, obviously. And then then we had to go to Ellen Road 3 months after, which was tasty to say the least. But yeah, glad them days are gone, thankfully.
Yeah, what was it like then? Were Leeds fans like giving you stick, even obviously you were not wrong at all?
No, the game was on a Friday night, which was a bad mistake straight away. So everyone was trolleyed up already and drunk before the time they got there. So, and then it's just a derby, and it Leeds Sheffield Wednesday. It's just vicious at times, and yeah, there was trouble before the game, trouble during the game. A lot of chanting, obviously, and then they equalised. A few men on the pitch. It was. Couldn't wait to get off the pitch, to be honest. But then we had to go back to Ellen Road 3 months after, which was 10 times worse.
Yeah, fair enough. So after Wednesday, you can focus as much on this one as you can because I'm a Preston fan. So you got the call from Simon Grayson to come up north. Obviously, number 2 is Jordan Pickford, but what are your memories of your time at Deepdale?
Yeah, well, I left Sheffield Wednesday closer to home. So obviously, I didn't have Preston weren't lined up at the time. I was actually going to go back to Wigan. So Gary Cole was the manager there. The deal was done on the night before with the chief exec. I did the deal myself, and I thought getting back closer to home will make things a lot better personally and stuff. So I was due to go to Wigan, but then they messed us around and said in the end they weren't going to sign us. So yeah, I was without a club for a while, and then I was going to go to Bradford. Didn't really want to again because of the travelling. But then Preston rang last minute and said, "Look, we want you here. Got Jordan Pickford. You'll be number 2. Come and help Jordan and let him work from you as well." And it just fitted. It was perfect. Went there and he was incredible. I mean, I see the struggles he's having now, and it's chalk and cheese to what I seen when he was at Preston. He was unbelievable. Training
his distribution was just outrageous. It was just like having Pirlo in there. He could just ping a pass like anywhere. Did you see him going on to establish himself as England goalkeeper?
Oh yeah,
really.
After that season, I thought, yeah, he'll play for England. This lad, no problem at all, and he'll be at a bigger club. Obviously, listen, he's done well at Everton, but he's obviously made some mistakes. He's got involved with the crowd at times, too emotional possibly at times, which I didn't see at Preston. That's the thing. I've never seen that at Preston when he was there. But obviously that comes with the pressure of moving to Everton, playing for England. Yeah, he's still one of the best I've ever worked with.
Did you feel at that stage of your career, and Pickford would have been early 20s himself, did you feel that you were a mentor to him as much as you could be in training, like almost, the experience goal?
Yeah, you take that role. Yeah, you take that role comes. I think the older you get, you do that number 2 role, number 3 role, the older you get. So yeah, I was more than comfortable doing that, definitely. But yeah, it was, we had a good team at Preston, real good team. Great team spirit, some great lads there. Galley's still there now, still a few lads there that when I was there. It was a great changing room, really was. It was there was no idiots, no big timers or anything like that. It was just it was a good club to play for.
Was Ben Davies out on loan that season when you were there? Or was he around the team?
He come back, I think. Yeah, Ben Davies come back. Yeah, so he was. I mean, you could always tell he was. I wouldn't say too good for Preston because that's sometimes a little bit disrespectful. But you always seen if anyone was going to have the chance. I mean, they say, look, he wouldn't have gone to Liverpool if the defenders were obviously fit and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's not been taken by somebody by now. I'm surprised some others have not took him. But out of the ones I've worked with, he has got a chance to. I mean, listen, going to Liverpool, it's a huge step up again. But if anyone can make a real go of it, it'll be him because of his attitude, his ability. He's a great lad, always willing to learn, and he's turned into a real good defender. Now it's can he kick on again and go to the next level? He's going to have the best of everything at Liverpool, and I'm sure he'll do himself justice when he gets his chance. Yeah,
I just hope he does get a chance. I mean, he, like you said, he worked hard for it at Preston because he had numerous loan spells out, and it perhaps took him a little bit long because he made his debut as a young lad when he was 18, initially at left back, and then a few loan spells, Southport, Fleetwood, York, and we were starting to think, is he going to make the cut? And then as soon as Alex Neil came in, centre half, and he was just class. He's just so composed on the ball, and I don't think Preston fans have ever been delighted to see one of our best players leave because it's just a great opportunity for him, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, listen, he was doing it this summer, weren't he? He was going Celtic anyway. So, yeah, I think he'll do great. It's just when he gets his chance, he's going to get his chance eventually. I won't be surprised if he throws them both in against Leicester this weekend. Both the defenders they signed. Put the midfield lads back into the midfield. So we'll see, but he'll do well. And listen, if it doesn't work out for whatever reason at Liverpool. And it won't be through lack of trying, obviously when the other players come back, he's got plenty of places he can go after, from Liverpool, and the experience he'll get from training with them lads and playing games will be huge for him going forward.
So Simon Grayson, what was he like as a manager at North End? Good to be under?
Yeah, great. Yeah, Snods as well. He's assistant, and Tomo. Yeah, it was all the staff are great. Obviously, Alan Kelly was there as well. He was at Everton now with Jordan. But no, it was just a great place to go into. Great camaraderie. the staff have gotten great with all the lads. There was no issues whatsoever. But it was just he's very knowledgeable. His staff obviously he works with. Very knowledgeable. I know he's gone in at Fleetwood now and he got his first win. Was it last night? He got his first win.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, he's been around the game a long time now. He's been in management, which shows that he's more than capable of managing teams.
And so after Sheffield, at Sheffield Wednesday in the last few years, obviously you touched on it briefly. The travelling, everything began to take its toll. Was that when you began to just start not enjoying football as much, and you were? What was going through your head at that point? Or was it just?
Yeah, it was just a change of routine for 11 years, 6 at Wigan, 5 at Liverpool. 11 years, it was the same. Lived 15 minutes from the training ground, get home, pick the daughter up from school when she come along, drop her off in the mornings before training. And then all of a sudden, I was setting off at 5 to get to Sheffield to beat the traffic through Manchester, and it's just long hours in the car on your own. You're getting home late, and then having to do it all again the next morning. The winter months are a nightmare when it's cold and dark, and it's just it was just not. I just wasn't used to it. I didn't really want to stay over. I had to stay over some nights where I didn't want to. Wanted to be at home, and it just started to gradually get worse and worse. The first year, the football sort of, I could concentrate on that. The second year as well, but towards the end of the second season, I was distracted more, thinking, I can't wait to get home, and I wasn't really concentrating like I should do. And that's why the third year, when Kieran come in, it was a bit of a relief really, because I didn't have the pressure of having to play then, and concentrate as much. But knew I needed to get back home. Turned down another deal at Sheffield Wednesday to get back closer to home. Thinking that would help things, but it didn't. I was too far gone by then. My mind had changed as the minds do, and just got into a real bad rut. Yeah, real bad situation.
And so at Preston, obviously Jordan was there only first half of the season. He got called back, and then we brought in, I think, Sam Johnson for a bit, and Anders Lindegaard. Were you in that stage? Were you hoping you would get the number one spot and have a few runner games, or were you almost relieved that we did bring someone in? Just have the appetite for it.
Yeah, just exactly that. I could manage the training, but then the games are a totally different thing, because you can let the team down. And I thought I don't want to do that for not playing well. The other lads are going to suffer because I'm not in the right frame of mind. So I was happy that he brought other keepers in, and I knew that was going to be the situation anyway, because he said I'll be number 2 to keepers and stuff like that. He said just come in and train and get around the lads, use your experience, and which I think I did that. All the lads were great with us, and I think I gave quite a lot back to them as well. So it worked. It was ideal for everyone at the time.
And was anyone else aware that you were struggling? Players, managers, or even your family? Did you just keep it all to yourself and try and keep it?
Yeah, you do, don't you? You do. It's the old macho man thing, isn't it? It's only really been in the last 12, 18 months that mental health spoke about, every day now, which it needs to be, because particularly during this time we're going through at the minute, which is horrendous to say the least. But no, just kept us until, I knew something had to be done. It got that bad, and I rang Neil Mellor up, who's a former Preston player as well. I knew he had a lot to do with the PFA, and said, look, I need help. And he said, look, the PFA have got a mental health department, give them a call. So I rang them, and that's when things started to get a lot better, seeing a counsellor and speaking, and, just a big weight off the shoulders, not carrying it all on your own shoulders. Was
that not even something you were aware of, that the PFA had that? Was it a surprise to you? Do you not think more should be?
Well, it is doing. I think that was part and parcel of the thing. But they are doing now. Everyone knows that they are now. But I must admit, I didn't really know, because even though you're a PFA member, you don't log on, or you don't go on to the website a lot.
Check out what's happening.
Yeah, you just don't really do that. But yeah, once obviously they've been great with us, and Neil pointed us in the right direction, which was great of him.
And like you said, it's tough times now for everyone, but obviously, it's been a tough year for a lot of people, and I've struggled myself at times. Did you perhaps feel that in your position, fairly privileged as a footballer, you've got your physical health, that you shouldn't be feeling like that? There's people in worse positions. Do you almost start to feel guilty that, I'm not depressed, I'm not ill, this isn't right? There's people in worse situations. Do you start to?
No, because you didn't really understand what it was. You didn't really didn't know why you were feeling that, or what you were. You were just pretty numb all the time, and didn't want to engage. Just turn your phone off. Got home from training, shut the gates. Just didn't want to speak to anyone outside of the house, or even inside the house. it was difficult for my wife and daughter as well during them years, because you're there, but you're not really there. Your mind's always elsewhere. But no, you just don't know really what you're feeling or what it was. As I say, it's only really been the last 12 to 18 months that mental health's really highlighted. I mean, it's always been there. It's been there, for as long as we've all been alive.
Yeah.
But now it's, there's a lot more better things in place now to help people, which is amazing now.
Was it through the PFA that they helped you understand what you were going through? Is that when you got to realise what is happening and it is normal, effectively?
Yeah, exactly. And then you're talking about things. I mean, it seems like the last thing you want to do and the hardest thing to do, but talking things through and exercise as well. I mean, at the time, obviously, I was still exercising, but I wasn't doing the talking. So you put them both together now, and that is the thing that helps you more than anything now. Exercise and talking are the best things you can do for it. Did
you find with the exercising, training at football ticked that box, or was it a different sort of thing that didn't quite fit it?
No, because then you've got to do them both together. You've got to do, like I said, the talking and the exercise both together. That's and as I said, I didn't know what I was feeling. I didn't really understand it at all. And then you're doing the exercise and everything seems a lot harder because you're not right upstairs, and training becomes hard and your body feels sore, and obviously I was older then as well, so but now I know exactly what it's all about. Yeah, I mean, every day out walking, every day talking to someone, do a lot of the foundation now as well, so on the mental health side, which keeps me sort of like my therapy and keeps me on the straight and narrow as well.
With when you were going through those feelings, did you ever feel like the dressing room, the changing room, the training ground at football club was ever a possibility that you would open up to someone, or was it too macho, this isn't the right place?
No, I just didn't know what. I didn't know why. You always think, I'll be okay. I'll snap out of it. I'm back near home now, so I'll get things. I'll go back to normal. So no, you don't really know, because until you get to that point, you reach a crossroads. So you get to that point, it's the last thing you want to do in the world is talk to anyone about it or say how you're feeling, because you're not sure how you're feeling. To me, until you speak to professionals, and people in that line of work, that they've got a way of getting things out of you and a way of making you understand things better.
Yeah. So your next move came to Bury, and you said that's one you regret. Was it just, here's another contract, a little bit of financial security for now, but then you realised pretty much straight away that it wasn't right for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, I should have stopped, but it was just a professional pride again kicking in, thinking, right, I can get through this. Change of scenery. Because I was going to sign again at Preston, but then they took the deal away when I was going in to sign it. They changed their mind on the last day.
Oh, really?
Which again was a blow. It's another kick in the when you're feeling bad anyway, and then you get that.
Did they give any reason for that, or
just said they were going to go for somebody younger? Wanted somebody younger. Yeah, which is, the way football's going now. If you can get somebody younger and cheaper, that's the way a lot of clubs will go. So I went to Bury, but should never have signed for them. Quickly realised that was not going to work, and had to retire. To get properly right, for mental health reasons.
And then you obviously had a little bit of time out, but was there always a feeling or throughout your career that you would get involved in coaching at some stage? Was that always a plan, or?
Yeah, I think so. But then, I mean, I got better, and then for 18 months things were good, and then I started to miss things. Then miss a routine, miss having a purpose to get up in the mornings. You can go on holidays and play golf all you want, but you get bored eventually. Yeah. And I was just missing having a purpose and missing the interaction, missing the dressing room. So I thought, look, what can I do? I didn't want to go back into full-time coaching, because that's it's very time consuming, and I wanted to still be around the family a lot. I didn't want to do it full time, so I just went in at part-time at Colne, and then I do a lot with the Liverpool Foundation now, so all local stuff, which is great, makes me feel a lot better, and not anxious. I've got to travel here, there and everywhere, and I like doing bits and bobs, which keeps my mind stimulated, which is just what I need, really. But will I go back into it full time? I can't see it, to be honest. I enjoy doing what I'm doing too much at the minute. Obviously, just starting to do bits and bobs with the Liverpool Academy as well, which is just 10 minutes up the road from us. So I think, Liverpool as a club have been amazing with us. They've just helped us every step of the way. They've always been there. Always told them that I need anything, just give them a call. So yeah, the club have been amazing.
Good to hear. And you had a spell with Liverpool women as well, helping them out, and then a very short time in caretaker charge as well. How was that?
Yeah, different. It was very enjoyable first 6 to 8 months, but then because of the other stuff I was doing with the foundation and a lot of mental health stuff, I was having to miss doing that to do the coaching and stuff, which I didn't really want to do. I wanted it the other way around. So in the end, I said, look, I can't give you me all. You know, it's best that you get somebody else in, which was the right decision for everybody, but obviously more so for me at that time because I had to concentrate on other things. But I enjoyed it. You know, it's football. It's it's different. Obviously, to men's, you've got to be careful the way you say things and obviously take things into consideration. But they're so professional. They're training. They work their socks off. They want to get better. They want to listen. We trained over at Tranmere, over at the campus there. Eventually, I think the women will move obviously to where the first team are in the next few years. But yeah, it's just it's Liverpool Football Club. It's still no matter what you're doing for them, it's a great job. Yeah.
So obviously you're massively involved with charities and stuff, and obviously walking is brilliant. It's going pretty well at the moment. So tell us how that came about, and obviously you've got a few other footballers involved in that as well.
Yeah. So Mark Crosley actually. I've always walked. I've always walked the dogs. I've always had dogs, and I love that was my get out after football games, Sundays, and during the week and stuff. So, but he found himself out of a job in last January, gone a year ago. For the first time in 33 years, and one of his friends has said, "Look, come for a walk." And he admits himself, if they'd said that when he was playing or when he was coaching, he said, "What do I want to go for a walk for?"
Yeah.
So, but then he started really getting into it, and he did some videos. He caught walking, it's brilliant. Then he rang me and says, "Look, you do a lot of walking as well, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, I've always done it." He says, "Well, why don't we try and I've got this idea. There's a few lads, a few ex-players." John Parkin, Dean Windass, Steve Harry, we've got some comedians, Gaz Marshall, there's loads of people involved in it now. And we set it up for mental health. So charities like golf days, obviously we've had a couple, but last year we've not been able to do anything, but they're all planned. We're meant to be doing Kilimanjaro this July, that's been put back to next July, but we're still hoping to do coast to coast this July, so Carlisle to South Shields. But yeah, there's loads of people getting involved now, but then obviously COVID hit, so then we said, look, why don't we do it for the NHS as well? So we're going to buy equipment for the NHS hospitals and do a lot for mental health. So it's going great. We're doing a challenge at the minute, actually, because a lot of people now have got onto it and they join the app and send us messages. And this lad wants to do like 100K in February for mental health, and everything he raises, he's going to give it to our charity. And then obviously we'll distribute it to different people. So but I took it. I was watching 8 Mile one night, and I thought, well, I'll do 8 miles plus every day, walking with the dog. So we're on day 11 at the minute, and my body's certainly feeling it. So I'm thinking, what did I say that for?
Is Eminem the soundtrack to that whilst you're doing it as well? Then
I'm gonna have to, mate, to get us through the next 17 days. I think. Yeah, today's was hard because it was so cold today as well, and I didn't get out till this afternoon because I had bits and bobs this morning and. You just think, I can't be bothered with this, but then you realise you're doing it for charity, and you get yourself out there, and you feel miles better when you do it. When you get home and you've done exercise, you feel $1 million then. So yeah, we've got a lot of plans for that. A lot of plans coming up. A lot of comedy days, a lot of golf days, and then we're planning eventually to do walks up and down the country where people can come and join us and donate to the charity and come and join us. We get counsellors on the walks as well, so if anyone is struggling, they can talk to counsellors on the walk. And so yeah, some huge plans for that, but like everything at the minute, it's sort of on a back burner until we get out of the situation.
Well, I suppose like walking and running is still one of the only things you can do literally in these times, isn't it? I suppose.
Well, I can't run. Yeah, I can't run to my back. I have to be careful. I'd love to, but if I did, I wouldn't be able to move. But yeah, it's just it's free. It's it gets you out there. I know you can go with another friend at the minute, or you can go with your own families, but. It's cold, but it makes you feel so much better when you get out and do something.
Yeah. Oh, fair play. So, what other charities are you getting involved? Obviously, we'll be happy to promote them on the
Liverpool Foundation. Yeah, so I do a lot with. So I've signed with Liverpool Foundation now, so we'll do a couple of days a week with them. Obviously, at the minute, it's limited to what we can do because before the lockdown, we were going into schools, into veteran centres, into all sorts. So at the minute, a lot of it's online. We do a lot of food banks, help the local food banks, and go into there and deliver. Like I'm delivering tomorrow for Daisy UK, so delivering to the vulnerable people tomorrow. So we try and do it, but the foundation just, incredible what they do. It's been running for 9 years, and I've lived up here 20 years, and I didn't really know what they did, and I felt ashamed when I got involved that they run 26 different projects all over Merseyside, trying to give people better lives, and everything you can think of they do. So delighted to be involved with that, and really looking forward to when we can get back out and get interacting with Merseyside again.
Great, fair play. We'll promote it on the site, and as much help we can possibly do. Just wrapping up then, obviously you said probably highlight of your career was making your debut and playing for Liverpool. Is there a particular game, performance-wise, you're most happy with, like your best ever display? Or
do you know what? It's probably actually for England under 21s. It was probably we played Holland at Pride Park in the qualifiers, and that's the best game. And it was just after I got the move to Liverpool as well, which helped. So, but yeah, it's probably that game. Then probably one of the others was probably Wigan. A couple of games for Wigan. In fact, for Liverpool was probably against Southampton in one of the earlier games. We played them in the cup game at Anfield and won, but I got man of the match that game and made loads of saves in that game. But probably the ones at Wigan. We had a few games there where needed to, really, because we were struggling down the bottom and was busy most games. But probably got most of my man of the matches at Wigan.
And any regrets in your career? Any moves you wish you'd made or didn't? Obviously, bury aside, but any ones that you perhaps had the opportunity but didn't quite go for that you look back on and regret? Or
no, not really. No, I'd do it. And Liverpool, obviously, the injuries, but I'd do it all again just for one game for them. Sheffield Wednesday was an honour to play for them. Wigan was probably the best part of my career. Loved it when I was at Preston with the lads in the dressing room. So no regrets really. I probably wouldn't have trained as hard on days off. That's what I say to lads now. When they get days off, take your days off. Because when I was younger, you just think you're invincible. But it's when you get older, it's when it catches up with you. So yeah, I tell everyone now, when you rest on your days off. But yeah, I used to go for 10-mile runs or something on days off, and because I was that obsessed with getting fitter and getting better and wanted to train as hard as I could, but yeah, it catches up with you eventually when you get older.
Brilliant. Well, thanks a lot for coming on, Chris. I really appreciate it. Good luck with Liverpool Foundation, and walking is brilliant. Do you reckon you could put me in touch with Neil Mellor and we'll get him on next week and have a chat with him about his time?
I'll get him, mate, yeah. I'll ask Mels for you, yeah, definitely.
That'll be great.
Good lad.
Put him in touch, and anyone else, and I'll give you a shout when we put this on YouTube and we'll make it all public. But brilliant. Thanks very much, Chris.
Oh, man. Thanks for the donation as well, mate. That'll help a lot of food banks out as well.
You're very welcome. Let me know how it goes and anything.
Brilliant. Take care, mate. Stay safe.
You too. Cheers, Chris. Thanks.